Welcome to a rebuild with me, Haley. Today, I'm rebuilding the Seth Thomas number 6. This used to be David's dad's clock. I'm just gonna show me rebuilding it, and you'll see how we do rebuilds, or how Sorry, I have Tic Tacs in my mouth. So, the first thing you always do, get the face off, which is now. This is the face up close. Seth Thomas. Pretty cool. It is from 1880 to 1900. I'm gonna edit that to make me sound like a professional. Next step with this guy, I think, is next step, I need my flashlight. Let me show y'all up close. There's a weight in there, and you gotta take the weight out. Now the weight is out. I'm gonna put them to the side, cause yeah, this is where it's called a pulley, which are actually my favorite movements to work on. Fun fact. This is what I just used, for anybody wondering. Harbor Freight is the place to go. If you don't believe me, talk to my lawyer. I don't have a lawyer. I think that should work. I need something bigger than that, actually. What just fell? Okay. One thing about me you'll learn is I kind of like the challenge. Hold on. Oh my god, it's hitting another clock above me. Let me put this thing down. Now I'm just missing one more. I need 4. I have 3. I feel like I'm talking like a math teacher when I said that. If Sam has 3... Yeah, I don't think I know where that 4th washer is. Hi. So this is the movement. This is the back of it. I gotta take these pins out so you can actually see the back of it, but it's basically her in all of her glory. Whatever. A rebuild doesn't mean we're changing the gears. The gears are still gonna stay the same. We're putting them back in their place where they go. It just means we're gonna clean her up. That's basically what it means. She needs a cleanup. It's time for a cleanup. She's old. Actually, I want to say he. He's old and tired, and it's just time for a rebuild. So yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take y'all over to my bench.
What you doing?
I'm filming a video. No, you kind of scared me.
Hey, if you're gonna film my dog, I get right.
I'm gonna show y'all how to do it. I'll show you how we do it. Don't do it at home, because it's very expensive. It's very expensive, and I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it, but you'll see you need the right tools to do it, and you need to know what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you can get very hurt. So don't try this at home. Do not try this at home if you have a clock. Also, it depends, because if you don't have a clock like this, if you don't have a clock where it's pulley drive, and it's a spring or a barrel, you can get very hurt on those. Not saying you can't get hurt doing these. Although I don't know how you would get hurt doing these. Maybe by dropping it on your foot. That's a pretty good way to get hurt, actually. You're gonna see how we do it. How I do it, at least. Okay, so I'm gonna voice over the rest of this for the most part. The best I can. I can't promise it's gonna be great, but I'm gonna try. So, yeah. Basically, what I'm doing right here is I'm taking out the pins. Like I said earlier, it is an older movement, so it actually uses pins. Some use pins, others don't. This one does. For the sake of this, I also am gonna start to speed it up. If you are wanting to follow along to exactly what I'm gonna be doing in the video, you can slow it down to your preferred speed. Just be cautious and careful with what you are working with. These guys can hurt you sometimes. This one, not so much. Again, maybe not unless you drop it on your foot or your wrist, like I did one time. Don't ask me how I did that, but I did it. Yeah, just be careful and good luck. And wow, there she is in all of her glory. That is the movement. That is the gears inside of it. You'll see that I'm taking the pieces and throwing them into a bucket. In that bucket, I will throw those pieces into the thing that we call mineral spirits. It's not a ammoniated product. So, yeah. That is the number one rule when working with these. Do not throw them in an ammoniated product. It will mess up the clock. It will damage the clock. The clock will be damaged, and it will definitely shorten the lifespan of that clock too. Okay, what I'm doing right here is a very crucial part to the movement. I am checking if the clock needs any bushings. If you've seen the house call video, you would know what a bushing is, but I can re-explain it because I don't mind. A bushing is basically where, the pivots are in a movement. It is one of the biggest, I don't want to say problem. I'll say, well, it is a problem. Basically over time, a gear will, well, let me put it this way, forgive me. Over time, a movement will get dirty where, hi Haley. Over time, they will get dirty, and those little holes where those pivots and those gears stick out a little bit, they'll, sorry if I'm explaining this really bad, they'll get dirty and they will need to be replaced, and our way of replacing them is a bushing. I don't think this one needs bushings. Yes, I'm checking it before I clean it. You should really check it after you clean it, but sometimes I like to check it before I clean it, just so I kind of get an idea of what I'm getting myself into. But basically, that's a bushing. It's over time, as a gear is running and as that movement is getting more dirty and dirtier, dirt will build up in the pivot holes and it will wear down that hole. And sometimes those holes need to be bushed. And you will be able to tell if it needs a bushing because the hole will not be a perfect circle. Like, as you can see, the holes are perfect circles. It will not be a perfect circle. It will look like it is being worn more on one side. And it will look like it's kind of like warped and a little weird. It's kind of hard to explain it. And fortunately, this clock didn't need any bushings, but I'm sure there will be a rebuild that I film that will need a bushing, and then I can show you guys that. So, yeah. So, I sort of forgot to do a segment on me putting it in the tumbler. Sorry, not the tumbler, the cleaner. And yeah, I forgot to do that. So when I take it out, I'll show y'all. It's pretty easy. All you do is take the parts, not all the parts. Take the parts. Go out storming. You just take the parts. Sorry, don't throw all of the parts in the cleaner. Throw only the bigger parts, like the gears, the plates. I put the plates back together because it's easier. That's just how I do it. Yeah. You don't gotta do it how I do it. You can put it in with the plates apart. Just make sure that the gears are out of the movement. I don't recommend putting the whole movement in, especially if it has hammers. But that'll be for a different video. There's a lot of steps to it, but luckily the movement that I'm working on is pretty easy. It's pretty easy to put back together, so that's why I'm starting rebuild videos on this one first, because it's easier. It's easier to follow. Personally, what I do, I take pictures of it. Basically, we just use mineral spirits. It doesn't leave a disgusting look on the plates. It's not ammoniated. I'll record when I take it out of the thing. So I have it slowed down so that I can explain myself. But basically, this is me taking it out of the cleaner, and I prepped it to get it ready to go into the tumbler. The tumbler basically shines everything and makes it look like new. So this is it, fresh out of the mineral spirits, and that little machine you see there is the mineral spirits machine. I set it to about 20 minutes to clean everything, and then this is the tumblers. I use 3 tumblers. This is a cable a pulley drive movement. So I only needed a movement for the... Sorry, what? I only needed 2 tumblers. I only needed a tumbler for the plates, which you see there, and the gears in the other tumbler. And I have it slowed down so that I can explain myself better. But yeah, that's basically what's going on here. So this is me pivot polishing, and I put on safety glasses because when you're pivot polishing, little pieces can go flying and they can likely go into your eye. So I put on safety glasses when I do this. And basically pivot polishing is a very big step because that can help the aging, I should say, of a clock, and it can keep it from needing to be fixed, is the best way to put it. So say somebody doesn't pivot polish, that can also lead to the pivot holes wearing, and that's also part of the reason why people need bushings in their movements, and it turns into almost a whole rebuild. So if you're ever gonna work on a clock, definitely pivot polish. And when you're pivot polishing, make sure that you're getting all up in the pivots, and the pivots are the very end of the wheels, gears I should say, that go into those holes on a movement. And you want to make sure that you get everything. Also, you want to make sure that you pivot polish the verge. I personally pivot polish the verge because the verge is what is always bumping that escape wheel, and there's always friction on the escape wheel, and at least I call it friction. I don't exactly know if David would say it's friction, but I would say it's friction. It's friction happening on, in my words, happening on the escape wheel and the verge. And if you don't know what the verge is basically that ticking sound. The verge in the escape wheel is that ticking sound that you hear on your clock. And it makes a different type of ticking sound if it is in beat or not in beat. Not in beat, you would be able to tell. Trust me, you would be able to tell. In beat, it's like a something like that. It's very subtle, very... I don't know how to describe it to a person who doesn't work on clocks. But it's correct. I'll tell you that. It's the correct sound. It's what you want it to sound like. So, yeah. Make sure to pivot polish. So this is me putting the clock back together, and like David says, the clock will kind of just tell you what's wrong with it. Like it will tell you, you know, hey man, that gear does not fit here, and it's very uncomfortable. Don't ask me how it tells me that. I'm joking. Yeah, no, you'll kind of figure it out as you go along, because things will just feel like they don't go there. So it's the best way to describe it. And again, just take a bunch of pictures I'm still in my middle learning phase, so I myself need to take pictures still sometimes. Most of the movements, like this one, I really didn't need to take any pictures. I just do anyways in case I confuse myself, because there are times when I just confuse myself accidentally. But this type of movement is super easy, and I don't think I used my pictures like once. So yeah, it's pretty easy on movements like this. The more you work on a movement, the more it will just come to you very quickly. And yeah, that's just, it'll come naturally to you. It'll grow on you, I guess. So while I was working on putting the cable back in, or making a new cable, I should say, for the clock, I kind of grabbed way more than I needed. And then I realized, and I was like, okay, that's way too much. So I took the old cable out of the garbage. And I basically went off of the old cable, the old cable. But, there's a but. I added an extra inch. Yeah, like an extra inch or two or something like that. You do not want, if you do what I do, where you match the cable up to the old cable, you do not want to leave it exact to the old cable. You want to add an extra inch or two, like I do. And that is exactly what I did. And the end results were, the cable was, I feel like, a little long. Maybe I made it a little. Wait, no, sorry. I'm thinking of a different clock that I worked on. I'm thinking of it because I did like 2 clocks in the same day. I remember I worked on 2 clocks in the same day. So I'm talking about a different clock now. But the end results for this one was good. It was good. So if you do what I do, matching this wire up with the old wire, add an extra inch or two, please. Okay. I unhooked something. Oh, please cut that out. I think I'm doing pretty trash at this right now, but I accidentally looked at the Hershey. I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw the door, and I was like, oh, Hershey. Oh.